We just were talking about cold weather. Now we are going to heat it up. It is time for our Fantasy Friction. And we are joined by the first couple of fantasy football, April Shee and Owais Ahmed. First of all, you two, which of y'all did better this past week?
I have to say me, because I literally entered 0 lineups.
Well, I did better last week than I did the week before because I made $5. And it was all because of my double-up teams. You know, I took a lot of T. Higgins. I listened to the advice from this podcast given by me, and T. Higgins rocked the boat. But my one double-up team that didn't make it was Travis Fulgham from the Eagles. Oh, man, I believed in his targets. He just let me down.
Okay, so your household made $5, which is enough for one of those Taco Bell lunch boxes. April, why did you take a bye week on the lineups?
You know, none of the games looked great for me, but to be honest, I kind of just overslept on Sunday. But it was a good week for me.
Yeah, it's tough when you're on the West Coast, because the games start earlier, so you are able to. Even though I do believe you might have overslept if it was a 1 o'clock. If you were back east and it was 1 o'clock Eastern. Okay, folks, what are your top plays for the week?
Well, I am loving this guy out of the Los Angeles Chargers, Kalen Ballage.
Yeah, this guy was like on his couch at the beginning of the season, but
so he's on his couch.
Yeah.
The Jets signed him. The Jets with Adam Gates, who we all know is a football mastermind, signed this guy and released him. Now the Chargers picked him up. He put over 100 scrimmage yards last week, and guess who he plays this week?
The Jets.
The Jets? Okay.
Yeah.
The Jets, the franchise that invented the word losing.
So
yeah, so I think that's like 100% play. Like, he's going to be in all our lineups.
Yeah, and he's flying under the radar because there are 3 running backs on that roster, but I believe Kalen Ballage is going to get all the red zone carries. He's going to get the touchdowns. He's going to get 100-plus yards, and we're going to see a big game.
Yeah, and speaking of that game, I think since we're playing against the Jets, we might as well take a flyer on Mike Williams again. Like,
Mike
can
Williams,
he catch a TD finally?
doesn't he kill you every week?
Well, you know what? Mike Williams has gotten 5 red zone targets in like the past 4 weeks.
He's got to catch one of them.
He's only caught one.
You know what I mean?
He's running below expectation. He's just catch the freaking ball. It's your job. You got one job: run, catch.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we're not going to put him in every lineup, but like, it's going to suck the 1 week he goes off, and this might be it against the Jets.
Yeah,
so.
you don't want to miss him, because if you've been going on him and then he goes off and you don't use him, you feel like me. You feel like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
And Norm, that's how suicides happen.
Okay. I do most of my work on a couch, like your boy of the week, Kalen Ballage. So you can really go from the couch to great things.
Well, that's a stretch there, Norm. Quite a bit of a stretch, and I think you and I need to have a private call later to really hash this up.
Yeah, once I get a champ shirt like yours, we'll have that private call. All right.
You know what? It's not just a shirt. I got the shorts. I got the matching outfit. This is called style.
I'm glad we're not in Primetime Network TV. Who are you all fading this week?
So, like I said, this Travis Fulgham let me down last week. I am fading anyone on the Eagles. These Eagles are flying low. They have a quarterback that he was good before his injury, and now he can't do anything.
Yeah,
well,
and I would avoid any Bears, and maybe that's just like, again, my homerism talking, but no Bears this week.
Well, the Bears are on a bye. So I would also avoid the Bears this week, April. In fact, you might want to avoid the Giants and the 49ers. They're also on a bye. April, why don't you do this? April,
all the people on bye week.
Yeah,
that's like obvious.
Why don't you start? Why don't you go with Marshall Faulk this week, April, and see how that works out for you?
All right.
So we're gonna
but you know what? I think let's throw the Browns in there too.
Yeah. So any wide receivers from the Browns run the ball more than any other team. I just don't think they trust Baker Mayfield in the red zone, and
as they shouldn't.
I have no idea why Baker Mayfield gets all these commercials. The guy is never was really.
Well, he's
And
sort of a better Johnny Manziel. I mean, he has a rep coming out of college, so he's got a brand, and so he's going to get the commercials, I guess. It also, it just helps his name. Also, Baker Mayfield helps. And also, as I hate to be critical of, too critical of Baker, I can't even name a Browns wide receiver. Who are the Browns wide receivers?
well, they have Jarvis Landry, who's been playing hurt all year. Then they got this.
He lost
Higgins,
Odell. He lost
who's
Odell.
filling in for OBJ.
Okay.
Their tight end Hooper, no go on all of them. I do think the running backs are going to be pretty good because they do run the ball a lot. Chubb came back really good last week, and I actually think Chubb and Kareem Hunt are both good plays.
Okay. Now let me go to an area I know you're pretty familiar with, Oase, and April can vouch for this. Let's go to a cheap date. Who's your cheap date this weekend? Who's a sleeper that you're looking at, you all?
Well, I'm loving Jacoby Myers out of New England. He gets a lot of targets. The one problem is the Patriots don't throw a lot in the red zone. So you would take him as a sleeper, hoping he catches a touchdown. But Cam Newton just runs the ball way too much for touchdowns. But he is a sleeper. He is cheap. He gets a lot of targets. And that's the formula for a guy that when he does get that touchdown, he's going to be putting up 20-plus points at a low price point.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just would like to just take a pause right now and just say a glaring thing that's missing off everything we talked about today is the Green Bay Packers, which everyone knows is my team. And I don't know why you left them off again. But let me just say that Alan Lazard is back from his ab surgery, and he, the week that before he got injured, had the biggest week of his life. So I think he'll probably be super cheap and may catch some touchdowns against
the Lizard Man.
Yeah,
the Lizard Man is back.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae's going to be locked up, so I'm taking Lizard Man this
And April,
week.
I talked to his nurse at Milwaukee General, and they thought he walked out of that hospital 105%. Before I let you all go, I just want to know, if one of you did not play fantasy, or one of you was just a stinker in fantasy every week, would that be a deal breaker for either one of you in this relationship?
If it was, this would be over.
Norm, the real thing is this relationship's a fantasy.
That's like the Bob Newhart show. It was all a dream. That's very, very smart. April, I give you credit for staying with him. Oase, whatever. Thanks, you two. April Shi and Oase Ahmed. We will join you again next week for more Fantasy Friction.
Thanks for having us, Norm.